What is up, everyone? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the 2021 SSBB Season 1 Grand Finale. We've changed things up a bit this week, and we've actually managed to get some decent. We're gonna go try for some decent streaming. So, thank you for joining us. I'm just going to introduce how this evening is gonna go. Bear with me. There's a lot that's going on here, so yeah, I'm gonna try get it all going. So let's just look at McFlurry for a sec. Keep him on the spotlight. So what's going to happen tonight? The plan for tonight is effectively we have 3 categories. We've been running for 9 weeks already, actually 10 weeks. This week is the 10th week. We've been running 3 categories this whole season. Category 1 is the Toyota Crown that you guys are watching at the moment. Venture 26 I see is quickest on the timesheet. So if we just move over to the points, we look at the points. So we have category 1, category 2 and category 3. So this effectively is our spreadsheet or the regulation and points spreadsheet that gets shared with everybody that wants to join. It's also shared on our Discord group. Anyhow, so as I was saying, the way the season's been set up is category 1 is the Toyota Crown. It's an N500. Category 2 is an N200 controlled BOP class. There you have the option of the Bath 500, the Alfa Romeo Vito, and the Mazda Demio. Evidently the Mazda just wasn't any good. We tried to kind of line it up, but it just didn't work. And then in category 3, the Joker class, we have quite a few Group 4 cars that are eligible to be used, and that's really the Enduro class. Now there's a lot of rules in that around what you need to do and how you follow, etc., but that's pretty much how we've been running for 10 weeks already. So this race tonight is the final. It is after 10 weeks of solid hard racing. We are looking at the points you're looking at is the points that each competitor has going into the final. The interesting thing is Brian Reed, he's first. He's placed first with 236 points. He's PRD 3. Brendan Scott McFlurry, he's on 221 points. Alex Wilmot is on 217 points. And Death Raccoon is on 196. Now, this season, one race will also be dropped to effectively allow a competitor to have a bad race, or have just, if he's having a bad season, it'll allow them to kind of catch up and give them the time to catch up. So one event with your worst scoring points will be removed from your total points at the end of the year, at the end of the season, which is after this race. However, the exclusion of that is if you get excluded from an event for a technical infringement, that event cannot be dropped. So what we're looking at the moment, each one of the top 3 guys they've all missed an event, meaning that, so Brian, he's missed an event, McFlurry, he's missed an event, and Alex has missed an event. What that means is that they have effectively already dropped their points. So what you see is what with their current standings is pretty much how they are standing at the moment. This is after the last round. So these are the overall points. Now, as we go throughout the year, these points are I'm going to have the overall tally for each competitor for the complete season. But because this is the first event, these are the current points. So that's how we're sitting at the moment. If we scroll down, I've broken the points up into individual categories as well. So throughout the year, we're probably going to run 3 categories depending on how it all goes. So effectively, each competitor is also in a championship for each category. So at the moment, McFlurry is leading category 1, Brian second in category 1, and Luca third. Category 2, we're sitting with Davide first, Yuri second, and Alex Wilmot third. Now the points drop also is applicable for this. So category 3, that's the endurance class. This counts double points towards your total overall points for the season. Brian first, Death Raccoon second, Venture third. Now this 3rd and 4th spot is going to be a hotly contested race. For 3rd, I think this is also going to be a really close dice. But either way, it's pretty interesting. So that was just a quick explanation on how we run the points and how it all works. The points also, if I just go to the race data. So just to explain a bit more about how the points are dropped, let's look at let's take an example. So let's take adders. Alright, so if we just look at adders, so adders, here we have all the different rounds, round 1 to 9, and because no points have been scored for round 10 yet, so we had Red Bull Ring, Catalunya, Suzuka, etc, etc, etc. So these are his where he finished in each event, and these are the points he scored for each event. So therefore, first event, the total points he scored was 0, second was 4, third was 2, 0, 0, 2, 7, 4, 0. So therefore, one of these zeros will be the one that he drops. So effectively, adders won't drop any points. So that's how we set up the points drop pretty much. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a really, really close race, I think. And the beautiful thing is that we have quite a few people chasing for that top spot. So we've actually got to get straight into qualifying. It's not long now, and the guys are going to start qualifying. It's about 3 minutes. So I'm just going to let everyone know that we are sitting 3 minutes away from qualifying. Just want to make sure we're streaming live. Alright, so we're about 3 minutes away from quali. 2 minutes now. And currently we are, if we just look at the standings, Venture 26 is fastest. Brian is second fastest. Brian's on a 130.9. Venture is on a 130.2. Now, if you recall, if we just look at the points table, so Brian is on 236 points, and Venture, okay, he's on 190. So, however, category 3, I'm wrong. Apologies. Okay, so the times do reflect quite a bit, but not so much in championship standings. However, Brian has the most to lose here. I think he's going to really be pushing hard to try and finish up the order through all of these races, keeping in mind that category 3, the group 4 endurance race, is going to be the most critical. Now, that event, that race, is the location of that race is unknown, and the reason we do that is because it counts so much in the points tally. We try and prevent certain competitors from, or any competitor from, pumping in a bunch of testing. So it's really to try and keep the playing field even, or as even as possible. So yeah. So, how are we looking? Adders, it's great to see Adders up there again. It just keeps on improving every race. It's great to see. So McFlurry in. A lot of people in, probably waiting for the quality to start. So we have a full room. It's looking good. 14 competitors. Wow, it's great. It's amazing to see, and how this series has come on leaps and bounds over the year. It started in during lockdown in South Africa in 2020, and then was also locked down in the UK, and yeah, it's just come on leaps and bounds. So we're very grateful for everyone that's participated last year and this year, and it's just magnificent. And yeah, it's just going to be great to see everyone go into this final. And Brands Hatch always produces some magnificent racing. So I'm not sure if you guys are about as pumped as I am, but yeah, it's time to get it on. So we should start qualifying pretty much now. So I'm just going to give the guys a heads up. Happy Easter. Thanks, McFlurry. Happy Easter. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, let's do it. Good luck, everyone. Have a safe race. Alright, it's going to be very interesting to see who manages to pull the rabbit out of the hat here. So, I'm not sure I'm on. McFlurry twist, that's great. He's really quick. So we're kind of going to keep an eye on the the times, as well as just run through the competitors and see how everyone's doing, and if they all manage to stay on the circuit. Yes, there is a jam-packed field. It's going to be a traffic jam, so you really want to try and get a clean, get to a clean bit of circuit if you can. However, I think slipstream is going to play a massive role here in these fast on these fast straights. So the key really is to have a nice enough gap and to have a competitor that is quick enough to not hold you up in the corners, because if you can have a decent gap, then you're able to pull a good enough slip down the straight, then you should really be able to gain a lot of time. Having said that, to be within the slip, you have to be within a second of the competitor, and then you should be able to make it happen. And you can see Golfy here just getting a bit loose now. These, as I said before, these cars are notoriously hard to drive quickly, so it looks like he is within the time, or the gap. Sorry, the gap is large enough or small enough to be within his slip, and that's really what you want to do. So Golfy is, like I said before, Golfy is an exceptional competitor. He's come on leaps and bounds, and he's placed himself perfectly to be able to pick up that slip and just bang in that lap time. He's got no pressure behind him, so he needs to put his head down and really just focus. This corner is so important, so you can get good drive onto this back straight and put your head down. Now, as they come up to this corner, I forget the names of all of these, but this is a very, very important corner. Really tricky to get it right. You have to carry a lot of speed because the run is very, very short there. Here you have to ride the curb on the inside. Don't let it get the car too unsettled. Line it up here, brake at the last brake marker. Ride the curb on the outside. Don't touch the grass like Jedi just did, and you should be able to get a good run there. You should really also ride the curb on the inside there. So Golf is looking like he's on a really good lap here, depending on what corner speed he had. But this is looking really good for Golfy. That's a very, very nicely executed lap, very nice and clean. So yeah, let's see. So Golfy did a 1:31.3. Alrighty. Ian on the, so Brian already quickest. No, Alex quicker, just a bit quicker. 30.4. So the boys are pushing. I haven't managed to get my shortcuts working properly on the keyboard, so I need to still figure that out. So yeah, the guys are looking good. There's Ian. Great to see Ian with us. He's also just a great competitor. Yeah, so the guys are putting in the times. Davide, good to see him there. Slung, welcome back, Slung. It's good to have you. Very, very happy that he's joined us again. Who else is with us? Sai, currently sitting 7th. Adders, welcome back, Adders. He's never left, but it's good to have him anyhow. McFlurry, currently sitting 9th. Not sure if he put in a time, but he's pushing very, very hard. Let's just ride on board with McFlurry. Now, you also, it's very important to get good drive out of that corner. And this last board on the right there, you want to brake there. And you got to be so careful not to get on the power and unsettle the car. You kind of brake there, ride this inside curb. And if you don't, you kind of just run it wide on the exit, like what happened with McFlurry here. So there's a real specific way around this circuit, and it's very, very flowy. You have to get the flow right, otherwise you don't get the lap time. So it's all about these microscopic inputs on the steering wheel, and it's like you glide the car in pretty much every time. So McFlurry going in, new set of rubber, trying again. Let's see. It's got limited time, so So let's look at the times. At the moment, it's still Alex first, is on a 30.4. Brian second, 30.8. Golfy, 31.3. Davide, 31.3 as well. Death Raccoon, 31.3. Ian, 31.7. McFlurry, 32.5. He hasn't got a good lap in. Venture, 32.3. Sai, 32.3. Slung is on 32.7. Adders on a 34.2. Cephalicious 35.4. Jedi 43.3. Obviously hasn't got a lap in, and Dens hasn't got a lap in. So let's just go back. Let's see if we can ride on board with. Oh, Brian's having a bit of a tank slapper there. Let's see. Let's ride on board with Alex. See if we can get a good lap in here. Alex's exceptional car control, as I mentioned before. And he really likes to drive his on the lip. Oh, Venture put in a 30.2. That's pole, I think. Yeah, so Brian really likes to drive the car in an oversteer state. Sorry, Alex. He's very much use the rear to turn the car kind of guy. Now let's see if we can carry the speed. Car trail brakes it quite a bit, trying to just maximize the output there. Maximize the speed of the corner. Jedi 30.9. That's good from Alex. He's getting it a bit loose. Would be nice to have it a bit smoother. Oh, lots of speed into the corner. Pushing very, very hard. His car control is just so good. So let's see what this lap is. I'm not sure it's going to be what it needs to be, because it's a lot of sliding, but oftentimes it can be deceptive. So let's see. What does Alex do? He doesn't go faster. He doesn't go faster. So the last lap was a 30.4. So he's still second. Venture on a 30.2. It was a bit loose. Venture is also just a smooth operator. Very, very good at his craft. And is able to crank out very good times. However, not this time. But again, as I mentioned before, it is so hard to drive these cars fast. They go from understeer to oversteer. From loving you to hating you. So currently is 1 minute 38 left. Not a lot of time. You will be able to probably get another 2 laps in. So Brian Reed's parked it. He's parked it. So he probably feels, nope, that's good enough for him. He's not going to try. So another thing I didn't mention is that the points are captured for fastest lap as well. I think I might have mentioned it in the at the last race, but yeah, points are captured for fastest lap as well as qualifying. So whoever qualifies on pole will get an extra point, and whoever gets fastest lap in each race will get an extra point. Not in category 3 though. Fastest lap in that event, that race does not count. So, oh, Venture, he's gone quicker. He's on a flyer here. Let's sit, watch, listen, and learn. He got a purple sector. Oh, he needs to just keep it. No. He would have had a really good time there. Just touched the grass, unfortunately. Sai also. It's incredible how sometimes when you're driving behind someone, you end up making the same mistakes they do. So both Alex and Brian have parked it, saving it for the race. So I see McFlurry did get a good lap in, 1:31.2. That's not where he needs to be. It's a second slower than Venture. So Venture's found something. He's just managed to put a good lap together now. As I mentioned before, these cars are just so hard to drive on the limit. So to be able to put that kind of lap together is really incredible. And we're going to see now. So we've got a minute, pretty much minute and a half remaining. Who's still out there? It's McFlurry. So McFlurry could potentially still put a lap together. So let's see. McFlurry twist. He's still out there. He could potentially put a lap together here. Not a lot of time left. He's changed the look of his car. Beautiful slide there from McFlurry. Also, seasoned competitor. Very, very good driver. Very, very good sportsman. He's gone. This is his best. His best personal best so far, but it's not gone purple. So he should still be able to put a good lap together here and go up the order. How far up? Let's see. It was 0.2 quicker. It might be able to take 4th on the grid. So let's see what it does. He doesn't. So Jedi stays 4th. So it's getting steamy. Golf Nut still out there. Golf Nut is 6th. Davide is 7th. So let's look at it. So it looks like Venture's going to take provisional pole. So the next question is, will he win it from there? That's the tricky thing. I think we've got 6 laps around here. 6 laps. There we go. So it's confirmation. There's confirmation of the results. Alright, so get ready, boys. It's going to be crazy. Right. Let's get it on. Let's see. Alright, so we're currently sitting with Venture 26. And it's go! So, let's see. Venture gets it. Oh, he doesn't get a good start. He gets it squarely off the line. Jedi gets a good start, but there's mayhem. Oh no, Jedi goes into the fence. Alex is off as well. Alex is off. No, he's not. Sorry. Jedi went into the fence and it hurt Brian. That hurt Brian. So now Brian, that's BRPRD3. He's chasing the overall championship. So Alex straight into the front. Alex really wants to maximize his position here. Maximize the points. And he's really setting it up nicely to get a good drive. He doesn't. He gets it really loose on the exit of the corner. It's interesting because the pressure is so high and it's so difficult to drive these cars. So Alex really has a good lead. Now, whether he can maintain that lead or not, we don't know. It's 6 laps around here. It's going to be mayhem. So currently it's Alex, McFlurry, Jedi, Davide, KRT Venture, who was on pole, Golf Nut, Ian. Oh, Alex runs it wide. He runs it wide and loses it. Now he's got to make a safe return onto the track. It's very important he doesn't impact the others. Oh, that was a mistake, and that's going to cost Alex big time. So currently McFlurry is first. Now we all know McFlurry, when he puts his head down, he's going to be very difficult to catch. So Jedi needs to put his head down, try get into that slip. He's currently slightly outside of the slip zone. And McFlurry gets it loose into the gravel. So Davide potentially could close the gap here. He needs to really try and focus so he can close the gap on McFlurry and get some points and try to close the gap on Brian in the overall lead. So McFlurry also getting it wide. The pressure the boys are showing, the pressure is really high. It's not easy to drive these cars around here, but it does provide some really amazing racing for us. So currently McFlurry, Jedi, Davide, KRT Venture, Alex, Ian, Sai, Golf Nut. Brian is up. Not sure where Brian is. Oh, Davide also getting it a bit loose. So McFlurry kind of doing everything he needs to now. Jedi makes a mistake, puts 2 wheels on the grass. You just make a small mistake, you lose 3 positions. No problem. Alex is on his way back now. Venture goes defensive. Very good driving from Venture. Went defensive, protected his line, made sure he wasn't impacted by that. So currently we're sitting with Alex. Alex is pushing to try and get back up the order. Alex was leading this race. Venture was leading this race. McFlurry is currently leading this race. We're sitting with Ian. Ian is 6th. Golf Nut 7th. Getting hunted down by Brian. Brian will be hungry for these points. He's chasing the overall championship. He puts it up the inside. Very good pass, but seems to overdo it now. There's a yellow flag. Golfy has to be careful. If he passes under yellow, there will be a penalty. He doesn't. Brian gets it loose. Trail breaks it too much and gets it slightly loose on the brakes there. So we're looking at your overall championship leader here. He will be hungry to maximize the points. Because as we saw before, the top 3 are not going to drop any more points. That is the current position, so every point counts. There's not much in it. So Brian currently 6th, Golf Nut 7th, Sai 8th, Slung 9th, Dens 10th, Davide 11th, Adders 12th, Death Raccoon 13th, Safalish 14th. So we go back to your leader here, McFlurry. He's just doing a picture perfect job bumping in the lap. So he already has a 3-second lead, and we know once McFlurry gets into the lead, you have to really focus to hunt him down and catch him. However, he currently has Mr. Alex Wilmot behind him, who we all know is a seasoned campaigner and will really do everything he can to hunt down Mr. McFlurry. McFlurry currently has the fastest lap, so I'm just going to turn off all the excess info. So Alex Wilmot 2nd. Does look like his Death Raccoon has left the room. Unfortunately, he's been battling a lot lately with his signal, so it's unfortunate to lose him. Very sad. So currently Ian 3rd. Ian, what a run by Ian. He's just been a magnificent campaigner. Coyote Venture hunting him down. I'm not sure what happened with Coyote Venture and Alex there. There might have been an incident. We'll have to go back and see. But really close battle now. Brian is in 5th. Brian will be hunting down Venture. But he's running out of time. So I need to kind of put the race info back on so we can see. So currently Brian's gone quickest as well. We're on lap 4 of 6. There's not a lot of time. McFlurry 1st, Alex 2nd, Ian 3rd, Venture 4th. Venture has gone up to 3rd place. Looks like a brilliant pass there. However, he's sitting with a penalty, 0.1 second penalty. The gap, Alex to McFlurry, 2 seconds. Now, Alex is exceptionally good at hunting you down and really putting you under a lot of pressure just by closing that gap. Welcome back, Death Raccoon. Good to see you here. Sorry about your signal. Alex currently has the fastest lap as well, so it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. If McFlurry wants to win this, he really has to manage that gap. He does have a bit of time on his hands, but all it takes is one small mistake and then it's game over. Gap between Brian and Venture is 1.49 seconds. Brian's done so well to come back from this. Now Venture also putting in his personal best to try and just open up the gap. Brian being hunted down by Ian, who is also very good at putting you under pressure. So the gap currently 1.6 seconds. Venture, I don't think we'll be able to catch Alex, but Brian might be able to catch Venture. The gap between McFlurry and Alex, 1.3. Alex is pushing very hard now. This is going to be a really good dice to see who comes out on top. There's one lap left. All it's going to take is a small mistake. However, McFlurry is very, very good at just focusing and putting his head down and making sure he doesn't make that mistake. You can see the car getting quite squirrely under brakes, and there he makes a slight mistake, goes too wide on the entry, and already that's hurt him. Gap is down to 0.5. Will Alex make a move on the brakes? He doesn't. He plans his move. Sets him up on the exit. McFlurry looking to go a bit more defensive. He can't make any mistakes. He really has to focus on being picture perfect throughout this whole race. Now he's really going to battle because Alex is in the slip. He's only half a second behind him, and now he's got a very long straight ahead of him. And Alex got a much better run out that corner. So now this is not the best place to pass. However, Alex will put his nose in, so McFlurry really has to be careful. Shouldn't go defensive. Just drive your line, maintain the corner speed. McFlurry gets a bit of a slide on the exit. Does a brilliant job through there, really focusing to make sure he doesn't make a mistake. Does he brake at the right marker? He does. Puts two wheel on the dirt. Now he has to be defensive. He goes defensive because he knows this is where Alex can overtake. Now he'll have to be defensive again. Alex is right there. It's a tough corner this. If you just get it a little bit wrong, you make a mistake. However, if you get a better run on the exit, you might be able to take him. The gap between them, 0.1. There's nothing in it. Who will take it? McFlurry takes it. 0.093 the gap. Venture to come over third. Brian Reed fourth. Jedi fifth. Ian sixth. What a magnificent race. Slung seventh. So Trans finished 8th, Davide 9th, Golfnut 10th, Dens 11th, Adders coming through to finish 12th, Safalicious, not sure if he has anyone around him, he will finish 13th, Adders finishing 12th. Amazing result from the guys. Well done everyone, there was really good racing. So, great result from McFlurry. He really absorbed that pressure so well. He is so good at just being able to absorb the pressure and not let it get to him. He did make a little mistake, ran it a little bit wide on the entry of one of those corners, but he managed to defend and soak up the pressure. Again, such a seasoned competitor, and so good. So good at just maintaining his consistency. So well done McFlurry, great job. Well done everybody. We're going to take a short break while I change the room settings and capture the points. Stay with us. See, I made a mistake there on the wrong circuit. I've just changed it back. So, yeah, we're not racing Tsukuba. We're racing Brands Hatch Grand Prix. Apologies, guys. Alright, so I'm just letting the guys know we've got about 8 minutes to race. Now, again, in those 8 minutes I've got to redo the grid order, but let's quickly just jump onto the points here. So, yes, I've captured everything. So if we look at the points quickly, we can see here, we can see Brian, that lead that Brian had is still kind of there. It's not so big though. Brian's on 243, McFlurry 231, he's closed the gap. Alex 226, Death Raccoon. So yeah, I still got to sort it. So currently how we're looking on category 1 overall points. So McFlurry first still. Brian second, easy. So yeah, I'm still sorted, but it's looking very interesting. It's getting much closer. So yeah, very, very interesting. Let me set the grid order. So, the grid for race 2 or category 2 will be based on championship standings. However, it'll be reverse grid for what is happening here. Just take the blanks out. Okay, so it'll be reverse grid for championship standings. So let's go back. So currently so for this race, we're going to have Jay on pole, Adders. Now this is really going to mix things up because these cars are terribly slow and terribly difficult to drive. Second will be Slung. Third will be Psy. He's already there, that's fine. Fourth will be Denz. Denz has showed some good pace as of late, so he should do well from fourth place. Fifth will be Ian. Sixth will be Saphalicious. Seventh will be Davide. Almost found Davide. Eighth will be Jedi. Ninth will be Golf Nut. 10th will be Death Raccoon. 11th will be KRT Venture. 12th will be Alex Wilmot. 13th will be McFlurry, and last but not least, our championship leader Brian Reed. So we've got 3 minutes. We're still good. So yeah, what a great opening. What a great... Apologies. So much going on here, man. So yeah, what a great first race, man. So that's it for the Crowns, the Toyotas. I guess a lot of people will be really happy to see the back of those things, but because they're so hard to drive. But we have one more of the difficult things, and I see McFlurry's changed these rims for this race. He obviously feels that the yellow rims are quicker. Well, they're definitely working for him, that's for sure. So yeah, just it's great racing so far. So yeah, McFlurry first, currently in the practice. Brian second. Again, Brian's such a seasoned campaigner. The problem with these things is the weight transfer. So you have to be very, very gentle with your inputs. And corner speed, it's so hard to drive these cars. Golf Nut is such a machine in these cars. He's just managed to find so much pace. He's done a lot of research. He's picked up some tricks off some YouTubers, and yeah, it's just great to see because he's really a golfer, and he's an electrical tradesman. So he's never had any motorsport experience in his life, and just magnificent to see him. Venture 26, so a lot of these boys in the UK. Venture 26 again, super quick. Great to see him up there. Davide, our Saudi compatriot, not actually in Saudi, but we won't tell PlayStation that. Slung, yeah, great to see him back. He's in that little Abarth, magnificent looking livery, and that's just another thing we pride ourselves with in the series is just how good our liveries turn out. There's a lot of guys that just do such a great job on the liveries. Alex is one of them. Brian. There's just so many guys put so much effort into making their cars look good, because if it looks good, it generally is good. So yeah, Psytrance also has done a great job in these liveries. This Alpha just looks magnificent this season. Really well done, Psy. It's looking wonderful. Great to see. Death Raccoon. So he will be starting quite far up the order, and he's going to potentially do quite well. I see him, and I think it is Davide. Am I right in saying they're sharing a layout? Yes, they are. So they're teammates. Apologies, not a layout. They are sharing a livery, and it looks really good. It's great to see. So how are we looking? So it's McFlurry still first. Ian is sitting in the pits. Saphalicious, he's 13th. Addis 12th. Denz Den's 11th. Like I say, he's gonna start quite far up the field, so he should do well. His pace has been quite consistent as of late. Slung 9th. He's also going to start quite far up, so it'll be great to see. Sai and Cephalicious exchanging a bit of paint here. Jedi. He's seems to like that green, and he pulls it off quite well on his liveries. So he's had mixed results. Jedi, he was very, very quick around Tsukuba. Kind of mixed results throughout the season, but really, really good competitor. It's just also so good to see these guys up there. Davide, also very consistent over the season. Very, very cool to have these guys race with us, and like I say, it's such a privilege. Venture 26 also. Let's see what lap time these boys are going to put down. Does he go quicker? He doesn't. He stays for 5th. So not that it matters, because we are doing a reverse grid anyhow. So McFlurry cooks us on a 142. Then Brian 142.8. Where's Alex? Alex, I don't even think he's on the timesheets. Is he battling? Is Alex battling? No, he's just parked it. He decided he's had enough of driving this thing. This will be the last time he has to drive this car this season, so I don't blame him. They are exceptionally difficult to drive quickly, but that was the point of this year, the season rather. It was to drive really difficult cars, and at the same time give us some really good racing. So next season we got something special lined up for everyone. However, those rigs haven't been released yet. They will be released quite soon, over the next couple of weeks. So I'm just going to let everyone know we're going to be starting pretty much now. F1 car, not going to happen, brother. Doesn't provide good racing. Sorry, Zavalicious. So it looks like everyone is in. It's great. Thank you, everyone. Let's get it on. Oh, Cephalicious is painting the wall a bit there. Let's see how that works out. So, what an exciting start. Right, this is gonna be mayhem. I really, really hope that the guys don't take each other out. It's really important that the guys, there's a big focus on just staying consistent, and yeah, so the lights are out. Let's see how the guys get away. Ad is on pole. He's really got to try and get a good start. Sai gets up along. Sarim Denz has a really, really good start. I said that Denz would, he's been so consistent, so if he manages to put his head down, he could do potentially really, really well in this race. So he just needs to try and put his head down. I think this circuit will favor the Mito. It is a bit of a faster car in a straight line. However, their Bath just manages to, it's a lot more consistent through the tight stuff. Wow, what a battle we have here. McFlurry in it to win it, brother. So we've got McFlurry, Death Raccoon. Oh, who else is there? Slung. Sure, McFlurry, your race 1 leader. and winner, really getting up the order quite quickly. Dens, Addis, Sai, Ian, McFlurry doing a really good job defending his line. Death Raccoon going around the outside. McFlurry making him work hard for that position. Death Raccoon can do it, however, it's really tough around the outside. Let's see if he manages to hold on to it. McFlurry doing a great job of defending that position. However, that Abarth is just so good on the brakes and so good around the corners. I see Brian. He's up to 8th. He's got to try and get a good position. I see he's put his nose on the inside of Ian. Well done. Very good pass there. He's got to try and make it stick now. It's not going to be easy because Ian is a very good competitor. And he also has an Abarth, which is very good around the tight stuff. Tight and twisties. Brian getting a bit of a tank slapper, but he's a very good driver. He's a very seasoned campaigner. They both go on the utility. Brian must keep it together. Defend the line, brother. Oh, gets it a bit deep and runs into Dens. However, he manages to save it. Good job, Brian. He didn't send him to the shadow realm, which is great. Very good driving. So, Adders up to 5th. Death Raccoon 7th. Sai Trance 3rd. McFlurry up to 2nd already. Davide soaking up the pressure from McFlurry. McFlurry is just doing a freaking amazing job. Again, found his way up the order without too much chaos. But who's he dealing with here? He is dealing with Sai. Now, Sai has to play his cards very carefully here. It's a very high-speed corner. You don't really want to put it up the inside of those corners. So Sai obviously realized that caution's the better part of valor in that situation. So Davide first, doing a great job to defend McFlurry. He just needs to put his car in all the right places and make McFlurry's life extremely difficult, which he's doing. Now that Abarth is so good in the corners and so good on the brakes where the Mito isn't. The Mito is good in a straight line. So the Abarth, if you carry the corner speed, you are able to stay ahead of the Mito, which I see is currently doing. He's doing a great job. So he also, McFlurry's got the quickest lap. And you can see how McFlurry's getting a squirmy on the brakes. It's just so hard to drive that Mito. And yeah, Davide's doing a great job. Might have gone a bit deep there, but yeah, managed to keep it together. So Davide first, McFlurry second, Sai third, Brian fourth. The gap between Brian and Sai is 1.4 seconds. So Brian needs to put his head down, not make any mistakes, and chase Sai down for the points. Points are vital if Brian wants to take this championship. Oh, that's not going to help your cause, brother. Keep it together. Ian running it really deep there. That's really going to hurt Ian. Apologies. Ian's really fallen back to 8th there. So just unfortunately made a mistake. Everybody driving around him. Oh, it's terrible. It's the worst thing when you go off like that and everybody just drives around you. So small mistake hurting him so much. Venture up to 11th. Also battling a bit here. Trying to get through the traffic. Hurting him quite a bit. Adder's going off. Unfortunately, these cars are so hard to drive, as I've said. So Slung hanging in there in 8th position, doing a great job. Jedi 7th, also going off. Boys just pushing a bit too hard. Golfy and Alex having a magnificent tussle there. So Golfy doing a great job once again, putting Alex under a lot of pressure in that little bath. I'm a bit surprised Golfy hasn't been a bit further up. He said he was playing golf the whole day, so he might just be a bit worn out. So, but you can do it, brother. Keep your head down, putting Alex under a lot of pressure there. So we're on to the final lap. How's it looking? Still Davide first, doing a magnificent job, holding off McFlurry. Gap is up to a second now, and I think it's just the fact that Abarth is able to carry so much corner speed. And whereas the Mito isn't. However, Davide made a small mistake there. Now he has to get this corner right as you get onto the back straight, because the Mito has so much more straight line speed. Brian also closing the gap now. Brian is really going to want to capitalize on this, get into the slip and take that third position, because it's all about the points really. Now is he going to try and do it here? It's not the best place. You don't want to do it there. You kind of have to line him up through these next few corners and make the pass safely. Alex has opened the gap on Golf Nut. So yeah, Brian has to get into the slip and make sure that you make the pass safely. And this is really one of the places you're able to make the pass. So Brian he's not able to do it there. So he's got pretty much one corner left. So if you were clever, you would line the car up to get a better exit. That's it. That's exactly what you need to do. So there we go. Sai makes the mistake. He makes the mistake and Brian gets the better exit. So it's a dice. Davide first, McFlurry second, Brian third, Sai fourth. So yes, that was beautiful, beautiful work by Brian. Just lined him up and was able to get the better exit. Sai went defensive and unfortunately lost the position to Brian. But what a drive by Davide. Amazing. He's battled a bit with his consistency this year, but he's done a magnificent job to hold off the all-fighting McFlurry. Well done. So there's confirmation of your results. Amazing job. Well done to everybody. Yeah, there we go. Davide, you champion. You deserve it, brother. I'm going to capture results. Stand by. Alright, we are back. We are back. Alrighty, so I've captured the results. It's looking very, very interesting. However, the next interesting thing is going to be the next race. See, so Felicia spent 5 hours today on Gran Turismo. That's nuts. Right, what do we have in store for our competitors? Should we do another wet race at Spa? No, we're not going to do that to them, shame. What we are going to do is we are going to do an endurance race at Brands. About 8 at night. It's going to be 20 laps. And this is going to be reverse grid based on previous race results. Now, I messed that up last week. Not going to do this, make the same mistake. So, reverse grid based on previous race results. Alex should have a good advantage in that race. Balance of performance is going to be on Group 4, racing mediums. Now, what we are going to do here is we're going to set the tire degradation quite high and the fuel depletion not as high, and that'll also change things up quite a bit. So this is going to change things up for our competitors. We're going to give them 15 minutes of practice. What time is it now? 11 South African time. So have fun, lads. So I'm not on the group chat, but I know that I'm going to I need to change the event, the time. Apologies. I'll make sure I get the right time. Yep. Yes, thank you, lads. I will make sure I get the time. Seconds. So race finish delay. Alright, so interesting. Got it, thank you McFlurry. Got it, thank you Jedi. We're just gonna watch some practice here. Stand by. Alright, so these cars are just looking amazing. Safalicious in a beautiful turned out Red Bull livery with the SSBB logo on them. Looking great, thank you guys. So I'll see we've been on for an hour already, hour and 15 minutes. Thank you for those who have stuck around. Thank you everybody for watching. It's great. It's great to be a part of this, and it's magnificent to have everyone on board. So let's just go through our competitors. What are we looking at? So we're looking at Mr. Brian Reed. Now, if we just go back to the points, let's just go back to the points quickly. So, what do we have here? I've captured the points. Select all. Let's quickly sort the points. Okay, so currently Brian is still leading the championship. However, McFlurry is not so far behind. So Brian is on 252, McFlurry on 240, Alex 232, Venture is on 200, Death Raccoon 197, Golfnut 179, Jedi 168, myself 147, Davide 144, etc. So as we go further down the list, let's just sort all of this so that we can have it in the correct order. So category 1 is still being led by McFlurry. He's going to win that because we're pretty much done with that championship. So it is McFlurry on 75, Brian on 69, Alex on 62, Venture on 59. Sorry, that was category 1. Category 2 is being led by Davide, and he is, we will just have to check Davide's, let's just check quickly what his points drop is going to be. So Davide's, he missed an event, therefore his points drop is 0. Therefore he's going to be sitting on the same points. And just make sure, get everything down so that I can capture the last point. So effectively Davide will win category 2. Well done Davide, you absolute legend. However, these results are pending. These are provisional results because there might still be a few disputes which need to be looked at. So results are provisional for now. However, Davide is sitting on as the points leader for category 2. Then it's McFlurry, then it is Golfnut. Well done everybody. Category 3 is yet to be determined, so this is the big one. This is where the money is made. Currently Brian is leading that championship on 128, then we have Death Raccoon 120, then we have Coyote Venture 106, Alex 106, McFlurry 104. This will be a magnificent scrap, so that's really one to look out for. The that battle, that's effectively for third place in that championship. And there's still something in it here between Luca and Brian. Now, they've both been very quick and very consistent in those. I think they're both in the Lexus, so something to be said about that Lexus. So, let's just go back to the overall points. And make sure we have everything where it needs to be. But yeah, it's looking good, looking good. How are we looking on time? Don't want to run over time. Okay, I think 1:15. We're on about 8 past now, so there's about 7 minutes to go. So currently Brian is first. Brian is first. McFlurry's changed his livery a bit now. That is frowned upon. You want to keep the same livery. The COC might have a word with him on that. So, how are we looking on times? Brian, 1:31.3. Not that it matters. Golfy, 1:31.7. McFlurry, 1:31.7. Death Raccoon. No, who was it in Cat 3? It's Death Raccoon and Brian. It's between them for the overall championship in Category 3. So, Death Raccoon currently third. He's gone quicker. So, he's on a 1:32.1. Quite a bit slower than Brian, but very close. Very close. Golfy, 1:31.7. You biscuit. Well done. McFlurry is still third. Where is Alex? Is Alex just biding his time? 1:32.2. Oh, this car's just crackling and popping, sounding so good. Alex not going out. So Ian also not going out. Safalicious in that magnificent Red Bull livery. SSBB Red Bull livery. Thank you, sir. Slung in that Aston. Looks so good. Sounds so good. It sounds so good because it looks so good. I don't know which one comes first, but yeah. It's looking very nice. Listen to that magnificent V12. Thank you, sir. So, who else are we looking at here? Jedi. Doing magnificently in that Jag. Now, there is very high tire wear on this race, so this will be... Oh, that's a bit naughty, Brian. A bit naughty, so Brian might be on younger rubber. Just giving Jedi a little send there. Adders in 9th currently. His car also looked great this whole year, and well done to the adders on that magnificent livery. The chrome looks wonderful, sir. Cytrons in the Corvette. He's back in the old Vetty. Also, the beautifully turned out livery. It's an HP livery. Looks wonderful, sir. I hope you're getting lots of money from HP. Alex Wilmot going out, probably just biding his time, getting his breath back so he can do a magnificent lap. Probably kill us with some ridiculous lap time. McFlurry just doing a bit of off-roading there. I think the COC might have to have a word with him about his rim color change. It's a bit frowned upon, but maybe it's his practice rims. Whatever it is, it's working for him. Well done. Ian is speaking to us in some funny language in the comments. Thank you, Ian. I don't know what Markinal Bloxam means. Maybe it's German. I'm not sure, but anyhow, so we're currently looking at Alex. Ahead of Alex is Denz. He's doing a pit change test, changing his tires, topping up with fuel. So the guy's just the guy's just getting a bit of a feel of what the pit strategy is going to be, how they're going to stop the cars, when are they going to come in and change tires, how many laps to get out of tires. The tire weigh is very high, so that should make for some really good or interesting strategies. It's going to be more around conserving tires than it is going to be about conserving fuel, and that's what we want to see. We want to see close racing. We don't want to see people sandbagging. Some people are very good at sandbagging, but here we are looking at Death Raccoon. He is fighting for the overall championship in this event. So he's got a lot to do. He's got a big fight with Brian. Brian, again, is an absolute weapon of a competitor. Here we are sitting with Golf Nut. Golf Nut had a very good chance to finish on the podium at the last event. He didn't, unfortunately. That Mercedes just too thirsty. So he He wasn't able to finish on the podium, but he was very close. He will probably have a very, very good chance of finishing on the podium this time. So let's hope he can. Let's hope he can do it and make it happen. Ahead of him is Brian. How we're looking on time. I just don't want to go over time. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Let me just let these guys know. So these boys just practicing doing nothing. They must have yeah, I'm not sure who they got that from, but so if we look at the times, let's just have a look see. So it looks like Venture 26 is currently first. He's on a 1:31.2. Brian Reed a 1:31.3. Golf Nut 1:31.7. Death Raccoon 1:32.1. This is a very long race. Davide 1:32.2. Dens 1:32.2. Slung 1:33. Dead. I don't see Alex. Alex is battling with this car. He really is. I think that Corvette is going to be really difficult around here, especially with high tire wear, because the Corvette inherently understeers, so it's going to end up chewing a lot of tire, and you have very, very high tire wear, so it might not work in his favor. But that's just how it is, you know. That's the different races will always give you different challenges, and it's really about just making, you know, extracting the performance out of the car and keeping the championship close. Alright, it is pretty much time, so I'm going to let these guys know we are going to start now. Check. Let's do it. "20 laps. Here we go. Brands Hatch in not Indy, Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. 20 laps. These boys have got a long race ahead of them. So let's see who's going to take the honors. It's going to be a great race. We've got some interesting strategies ahead of us, and let's see who will be able to extract the most out of the car. So Dens again. Dens on pole, Ad is second. Let's see who gets away quickly. Sai gets it really, really squirmy on the start. So Dens Great start from him from pole. Manages to keep it safe and keep it straight. Ed is really a bit squirmy. So Safalicious second. We've got a bit of a dice. Venture up to third already. Venture's going to want to maximize that position. Death Raccoon fourth. Death Raccoon needs to play it safe here and play it clever. Be smart. You've got a long race ahead of you. So he's really in it for the championship. He needs to really be smart and play the long game. Great dice here between Venture and Death Raccoon. So like I say, Death Raccoon has to play the smart game and be sensible about his decisions, his overtakes, and his tyre wear. He's pushing very hard. Now that excuse me, that Lexus is very good. The Jag is also very, very good. Very pointy car, great, but tends to be a bit loose at times. So Alex up to 6th place. I'm not sure where Brian is. Brian, the championship leader. Alex under pressure from Jedi there. He's got Jedi behind him. Oh, what is happening here? Brian having a big tussle with Golfy. Now, if it stays like this, Death Raccoon has a very good chance. Is it Death Raccoon? Apologies. Yes, it is. Death Raccoon has a very good chance of taking the overall championship, the Category 3 championship. Apologies. So Brian Reed needs to also play the long game. He's got to be very, very sensible about tyre wear and about how he uses the car. Oh, someone sent it into McFlurry. Not very nice. I think that was... I'm not sure who that was. Apologies. So, not very good. Alex, but it happens. It's just one of those things. Alex, 5th. Death Raccoon, currently 4th. Must play the long game. Think about the strategy. Sit in the slip and just kind of work your magic. Not use up your tyre. I think that Jag would be potentially heavier on the tyres. So we are seeing everything. There we go. So that Jag could be potentially heavier on the tyres than the Lexus. I do remember that. So Venture, his tyres looking a little red. The Jag pretty much the same. Fuel pretty much the same. So Death Raccoon really, these boys are having an amazing scrap. All the while Alex is closing the gap on them. Magnificent job from Alex there. Alex tyre wear looks very, very similar. Now Death Raccoon has to find a way past because he's got Alex bearing down on him. It's not going to be easy because obviously Venture is a very, very good driver. Season campaigner, puts his car in exactly the right place to make your life as difficult as possible. So currently it is Dens, Safalicious, Venture, Death Raccoon, Alex, Slung, McFlurry, Davide. Can't really take your eyes off these boys because it's very close. However, the tyre wear is starting to be a factor here. You can see it. KLT Venture making his move on Safalicious now. Trying to. Safalicious being quite defensive. However, Venture 26 sends it up the inside. Now, Death Raccoon, he's got to capitalize. He has to make his way past. Otherwise, Alex will do the same, which he does. Now, that was a bit naughty, Alex. He ricocheted Death Raccoon into the sand. So, yeah, Death Raccoon really the big loser there. But it's difficult. You have to pick your moments, and yeah. So Alex battling a bit here. I'm not sure what's going on there. Might be battling with straight line speed. But yeah, really good dice between these three. Tyre wear looks like it's starting to become a factor. Really, really close race between Safalicious, Alex, and Death Raccoon. Death Raccoon has the most to lose here, so if he was clever, he play the long game. Safalicious doing a great job, just hanging in there. He's also got quicker sector, so all the while Ventures 26 able to just pull the gap. And so at the moment, Alex, I can see, is trying to get the slip. It's not the best place to pass, but he does put his car there. A bit risky, but he had to get the job done. So now Death Raccoon also starting to hunt him down. Great little dice developing here. These guys are just able to put on a great show. Probably because they've been driving those difficult cars the whole night. And yeah, Safalicious being very defensive. Also same, very defensive. So Death Raccoon trying to put on the move Brian did earlier. It might have worked. He's gone around the outside though, but now he's got Safalicious at the inside. However, Safalicious does back out of it, and Death Raccoon takes the 4th spot. Now Death Raccoon has to play the sensible game and hunt down Alex. Oh, Safalicious gone off there. I'm not sure what happened there. Not sure what happened, but now all of a sudden he's got Slung to deal with. He's got Brian to deal with. This has turned out to be quite a nice little dice. So you've got McFlurry here. You've got McFlurry, Davide, Brian, Safalicious. Brian has done well to come up the order. Every position really does count for him. Otherwise, it's points lost. Every position further back you are, it's points lost. It's a point you're not going to get. So Gerard Jonah also up in 10th, getting put under pressure by Golf Nuts. Pretty soon these boys are going to have to come in now. 5 laps already, and the tyre wear is quite significant. So Slung, tyre wear is slightly higher. Safalicious, Brian also not too bad on his tyre wear. He's looking very, very good. Davide's tyre wear looks very average. McFlurry, that Aston seems to use tyres quite well. Quite a lot, or quite badly rather. So currently McFlurry 5th, Death Raccoon 4th. He's doing well. He's doing well. Is he hunting down Alex? But he's dealing with, you can see he's battling with tyre wear. Alex managing his tyres quite well. Fuel consumption very, very much the same. The Aston has less fuel, higher fuel consumption. So Alex 3rd, Den's still 2nd, doing an amazing job. Venture got up into 1st. So Venture, your race leader, almost on half a tank. That Jag is thirsty. What a magnificent shot there. Beautiful shot there. So, Venture 26 first, Den 2nd, Alex 3rd. Death Raccoon closed the gap on Alex. Oh, and he goes off. I think that tyre wear is just starting to become a bit too much, because he really did close that gap. If he plays the long game, he's got to play the long game. He's got the most to lose. You don't want to throw it away. So he's got McFlurry behind him in 5th, Brian in 6th, Davide in 7th. Brian will want to be hunting down McFlurry. I'm not sure when these boys are going to come in. They're going to push for a 1-stop race. That's interesting. They're going to push for a 1-stopper. That's interesting. So, interesting. So we've got Venture 26, 2.8 seconds ahead of Denz, who is 2 seconds ahead of Alex. Then we've got Death Raccoon, who is in it to win it. Behind him, you have McFlurry. Behind him, you have Brian now. the fight really is between Brian and Death Raccoon for the Category 3 championship. Davide in that stunning Mustang. That is a wonderful car to drive. So Brian, so McFlurry trying to put Death Raccoon under pressure here, but in doing so, he's let Brian catch him. Now this will be an interesting race. Now Brian needs to just be a bit patient with McFlurry. McFlurry gets it loose, and Brian manages to go around the outside. And oh, how's that for a pit entry? Beautiful done, beautifully done. So Brian first. So they are just gonna throw in a splash of fuel. I wouldn't put in too much. So Brian and Death Raccoon come out at exactly the same time, and it is gonna be, the dice is really between those two boys. So this is gonna be a wonderful scrap. So, oh, Brian gets it too deep, but so does Death Raccoon. He gets it loose on the exit. So this is gonna be a great race. Let's turn off the info and just soak in this magnificent racing. It really is great to watch. Oh, Death Raccoon getting it loose on the exit as well. So made a couple of mistakes. That's allowed Brian to just pull a big enough gap to give himself some breathing room, which is really, really important in these races. It just kind of helps you put your head down and stay out of trouble. So yeah. So currently still Brian 7th, Death Raccoon 8th, Den 6th. Now these guys, I believe, still need to pit. So Venture, our race leader, currently first in the pits. Let's put on some race info here so we can see him. Now he has gone for a long stop. So Denz, Brian and Death Raccoon would have passed him. That's interesting. It just shows you how heavy that Jag is on fuel. He must have put in a lot of fuel to have that kind of stop. So that puts him 4th. Death Raccoon 3rd. Brian 2nd. Denz 1st. Now these boys have all stopped. So Denz really is leading this race. This is a race for position. They still have 11 laps to go. 10 to 1, they're going to be on a one stopper. They're going to want to push these tires. Whoever can... well, actually, I apologize. The rules state that if it is 20 laps, you have to stop twice. Once, and both stops have to be for tires and fuel. So they cannot be on a one stopper. They have to be on a two stopper. Apologies for that. It's really going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Brian and Death Raccoon are closing the gap on Denz. Now again, you have to make a safe pass. It's not easy when the guys are racing like nose to tail like this. Really, really, really easy to make a mistake. But Brian seems to put it up the inside. He doesn't. Caution is the better part of valor. It's not easy. It's so easy to make a mistake. But there, Brian sends it up the inside. Hopefully, Den saw him. He did. Brian really wasn't far enough there up the inside there to make it stick. And Denz gets him back on the next corner, which allows Death Raccoon to get sucked in. So now Brian and Denz are side by side. Brian's going to want to capitalize and get the run onto the back straight, which he does. So he manages to get ahead. He really worked hard for that position, and he's got it, which is great because it's great for him. So the reason that is because he's managed to put a car between him and Death Raccoon to defend his position in the championship, and now Death Raccoon has to deal with Dens if he wants to get to Brian. And at the same time, he has Venture 26 breathing down his neck. So not easy, really difficult racing this. Death Raccoon looks like he's just using his tyre a bit too much. Brian not as much, so Death Raccoon could be battling a bit with that tyre wear. So currently in 5th is Alex. He's just that Lexus, Corvette doesn't even sound like it's revving to 3 grand. He must be fuel saving. So there you have Davide in 6th. That Mustang is a magnificent car. Big fan. McFlurry in 7th. Jedi in 8th. Slung in 9th. Saffalicious in 10th. Golf Nut 11th. Ian in 12th. Adders 13th. And Sai 14th. So how's this dice looking? We still have Brian up front doing a great job. Brian really is a specialist around here, and he would really want to secure his position in the championship by winning this. He's done a great job the whole season. He's had a wonderful season. He's missed a few races, I think 2 races, but still he's been consistent enough and had such good enough results to be able to keep himself really in the running for the championship. And I mean, as it stands, he's leading by 8 points over Death Raccoon. However, the show ain't over till the fat lady sings, and she ain't sung yet. So 9 laps to go. These boys are coming up to complete the 11th lap and start the 12th lap. They're gonna have one more pit stop to do. When are they gonna do it? Not really sure. Really depends on the state of their tires. This man is battling with his tires. Oh, that was a bit ambitious by Venture 26. The move really wasn't there. He went on the grass. He could have done that to try and avoid an incident. But if it was, well done on avoiding that incident. However, if you try to make the move, it just really wasn't there. So, Venture 26 pushing very hard to try get that 2nd place. Death Raccoon just doing such a great job in defending. It's so hard to pass here because it's such a high-speed circuit. So, but oh, that's very naughty by Venture, pushing him wide there. Oh, Death Raccoon comes back with the defend on the cutback, on the crisscross. Well done. Great job there. Just amazing driving by both of these competitors. It's getting a bit scrappy, but hopefully they don't start driving into each other. Venture just gets much better run on the exit. All the while, Brian's probably pulling a massive gap in the front, which he is. So, Death Raccoon defending it really, really well there. He's driving so well. Yeah, so Brian pulled out a 3.5 gap, 3.5 second gap. Just amazing. This dice is really allowing Brian to get away. So Venture will send it up the inside, but runs it deep, and then Death Raccoon says, "Thank you, sir. I will take that position back." And oh, he might just get a bit deep. He doesn't. So they're giving each other space. Amazing exchange here by Death Raccoon and Venture 26. This is for position in the championship. So they are separated by 3 points. 3 points in the overall championship. That is for 9th and 10th. So really big dice developing between these two, and great to see that they're respecting each other. There has been a bit of argy-bargy, but it's all kind of clean, so it's looking really good. Brian just pulling out a 4-second gap. He is in a league of his own, and this is why he really is the specialist around here. Once he gets in his gets in the zone, It's just you cannot let him get away, because he will do this to you, and you'll be sitting there counting the hairs on your dashboard thinking, what has happened? So Brian Reed goes into the pits for an early stop. I thought while he has the gap, might as well. So clever move, but he might come out in traffic, which might not be the best thing. So does the fuel change? Yes, it will, because he's been in there long enough. He is very low on fuel, so that's why he had to stop. Now the interesting thing is, how much fuel is he going to put in? Puts in 3/4 tank. Death Raccoon also into the pits. So Death Raccoon came into the pits the same time, however, came out earlier. Interesting, very interesting. So Death Raccoon currently has position ahead of Brian. Oh, gets it a bit loose there. Now Death Raccoon finished ahead of Brian at the last Spa race, but I think Brian's going to want that position back and say, listen buddy, I know you're good, I'm also good, I'm in a Lexus, you're in a Lexus. Oh, and Death Raccoon runs it wide. Oh, that's very, very sad to see. Very unfortunate. So that was a nice little dice developing there. Unfortunately, it didn't materialize. So Brian currently 7th. He has pitted. Jedi is 6th. He hasn't pitted. He's yet to pit. McFlurry 5th. He's yet to pit. Alex 4th. He's also yet to pit. Davide 3rd. Yet to pit. Denz 2nd. He's running out of fuel. He's going to have to pit urgently. There we go. So Denz, Davide and Alex all going to the pits same time. Venture 26 also in the pits same time. So where will it come out? So let's just see. Where is Brian? He's currently coming onto the main straight now. Will they come out ahead of Brian? Venture 26 does. So does Alex. So does McFlurry. So this will be interesting. Brian pitted early and it didn't work. The undercut didn't work. It's just put him back into the field. Oh, that's going to be heartache for Brian. Because now he has to battle with these guys, and this is for position. So currently it's very interesting. So Jedi is leading, however he needs to pit. Venture 26 has pitted. He's currently leading. He's 2 seconds. He will be leading once Jedi pits, so he is 2 seconds ahead of Alex, who is 2 seconds ahead of McFlurry, who is 0.1 ahead of Brian. So Brian will be piling on the pressure now. It is maximum attack. These boys have 5 laps left. Brian is 2.6 seconds ahead of Death Raccoon. He's nearest competition. Overall, the overall championship is between Brian and McFlurry. There is pretty much 12 points in it. So this gap will not be big enough. I'm not sure what's going on there. Yeah, so there's a good dice. Brian takes the position from McFlurry. McFlurry might have just, I don't know what happened there. There might have been a bit of an exchange. Brian saying thank you. McFlurry having a dice now. So these boys, brilliant racing by these guys. Just the gaps that they have between each other, and the fact that they're able to do that lap after lap. It's just wonderful to see. So now Brian has to hunt down this man, who's currently hunting down this man, Venture 26. And you've got Alex. Then you've got Brian and McFlurry. So, Venture 26 doing exceptionally well here. Has played his cars really well, because this car is extremely heavy on fuel. So is that... oh, and Venture 26 throws it away. He puts it on the dirt. Very, very unfortunate. Oh, it's not a safe return to the circuit. Luckily he had ghosted, so that was alright. Oh, it was a bit dodgy. Very, very unfortunate for Venture 26 handing the lead to Alex. Now, Brian is 2.6 seconds behind Alex. Will he be able to close that gap? Phew, that is a good question. Alex Wilmot currently sets the fastest lap of the race on a 1:30.4. Brian's fastest is a 1:30.7. So Alex really trying to open the gap to Brian now. The gap is currently 3 seconds. Will Alex be able to take this? He has been denied Category 3 win for a while now. So he will really want this win. So 2.9 seconds the gap. Sai just really circulating. Not sure what's happening with Sai there. I see he's ghosted. Yeah, not sure what happened there. That's kind of hurting Brian. So now the gap 2.9 seconds to Brian. McFlurry, the gap is 0.4 to Brian. 4 seconds ahead of Davide. Sai is still ghosted there. At least he is ghosted. The guys can drive through him. I'm not sure what's going on there. Death Raccoon currently 5th, size unghosted. Not sure, he needs to try and get out the way because these boys are coming through quite thick and fast. Den's 6th, Venture 26 7th. He's really going to be upset with that. Then it's Jedi Jonah 8th. Golf Nut 9th, Saphilicious 10th, Slung 11th, Ian 12th, Addis 13th, Sai 14th. Who knows what happened there? That's Death Raccoon and Sai coming together. It's very unfortunate. Sai going into the barrier there. Not sure what is happening. Must be having some issues or something. So currently the gap from between Brian and Alex has come down to 2.4 seconds. So Alex must have got a bad exit, Brian just getting a good exit. I see the gap is open again. So Brian pushing really hard to try and catch Alex here. Alex is has historically battled at this circuit, but he seems to be doing alright now. He's played his cards really well to be able to get up there. The gap is down to 2.1 seconds, 2 seconds, so he really has a lot to do. Doing that is not going to help his cause. But he is a very seasoned campaigner, so he is able to soak up the pressure and just pump in the laps. That beautiful Mustang just doing its thing. Venture 26 and Den's having their tussle there, so I see Venture has gone through. He's sitting in 5th now. Jedi 7th. So, what's the gap now? 1.7 seconds. 2 laps to go. Could it be closer? I'm not sure. It's getting very close. Let's see what these boys can do. So gap down to 1.2 seconds. If Brian can get into the slip, get under a second, he will be in the slip. He's running out of time. He's pushing very hard, I can see. He wants that first place. That's all the points in the world. Currently, he will do very well if he finishes like this, but he needs to also be a bit careful not to push too hard. Gap down to a second now. So it will go down to the last lap. Will Brian be close enough? I see the gap looks like it's opened a bit. Alex getting it a bit loose. I'm not sure. Brian also running it a bit wide. Oh, Alex is on literally no fuel. Brian has fuel, so Alex will be fuel saving. Is he gonna make it? That is the question really. He's down to 0.9 seconds. Oh wow, this is closer than I thought. So Alex Wilmot has no fuel and he has a gap. of 1.1 seconds. Brian has fuel. However, the gap is not that to open up again, so Brian must have made a mistake there. So, Brian makes another mistake. He obviously doesn't know that Alex is running out of fuel. So the gap is up to 1.3. I just don't see. So Alex is going to try fuel save down the main straight now. He's got time on his hands, so really through the twisty stuff he's pushed really hard, and now he can fuel save down the main straight because he has time, or the back straight rather. And he's just pulled out a gap. So Brian probably just accepting the second. It is wise to be cautious, because he could potentially take the championship if he does. So the gap 1.3 seconds. Go to McFlurry 1.2 seconds. So Alex will be fuel saving mega here. He just doesn't have fuel. The short shifting and doing all that. Brian Reed closing the gap just a little too late. So Alex will come through to take the victory. And well done, Alex Wilmot. Exceptional drive. Brian Reed second. McFlurry third. Davide still coming through. Over the line to finish fourth. Venture fifth. Den sixth. Jedi Jonas seventh. Golf Nut coming through in the Mercedes. The lone Mercedes to finish eighth. Death Raccoon ninth. Not the finish he wanted. Safalicious currently 10th, coming through the last corner. Pushing hard, so Safalicious coming through to finish 10th. Exceptional job by you, sir. Well done. Slung 11th. Doing a great job in the Aston. Coming through to finish 11th. That thing sounds amazing. Ian B also in a Lexus. Doing well. Coming through. Coming home to finish 12th position. Adders still quite far back on the circuit, doing a scenic drive. He will be coming through to finish 13th. See, he's just gone off there. So I'm not sure what's happening there. But yeah, Adders still driving around to finish. So, what a great race. Alex just did exceptionally well. There we go. Adders coming through to finish 13th place over the line. Great job by everybody. Well done. Exceptional driving. So there's confirmation of your results. Alex first. Brian second. Well done, sir. You've had a stellar season. You drove really well. Your liveries look magnificent. So, that is it. Let's have a look at those results again. So, Alex first, Brian second, McFlurry third. McFlurry just, I think, battled a bit there. But well done, Alex. Exceptional drive. You fuel saved at the right time. You did everything you needed to hold off the hard charging Brian Reed. And well done, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. So, that'll pretty much be a wrap for this. What I'm going to do, though, is if you stick around, I'm going to populate the points quickly, and then we will be able to see provisionally where all the guys stand. So, stand by. Alright, so I've captured the provisional points. Thank you, lads. Thank you, everybody. I see a lot of guys are leaving. It's a bit late, but thank you, everyone, for joining. Let's have a look at the points. So, where are we? Right, after round one. Oh, my microphone fell. Stand by. Alright, we're back. Crisis averted. So, this is interesting. Let's do this. Alrighty. Select all, just to make sure we see all. Blanks off. So, confirmation, provisional results. So, Brian Reed overall, 270 points. Looks like he is currently your provisional champion. Then it is McFlurry Twist on 256 points. Then it is Alex Wilmot. Now the reason I say these are your top three is because they have all currently already missed the race. So therefore those will be the points that they drop. It will be 0. These are the current standings. Then there'll be Venture 26. Now, I will have to go and check the points drops for a lot of these competitors, but these are your current standings. Let's look at and sort Category 1. So Category 1 as it stands, as it was. McFlurry first, Brian second, Alex Wilmot third, Venture 26 fourth, Death Raccoon fifth. Well done to all the competitors there. Here, Category 2, it hasn't changed. It's still Davide. Well done, Davide. 72 points. McFlurry, 61. Golf Nut, 60. Alex Wilmot, 55. Brian Reed, 54. Denz, 37. Jedi, 35. And the big one, who won it? Category 3. Provisionally, Brian Reed on 146 points, Alex Wilmot 126, Death Raccoon 124. So unfortunately, that result just placed him third place. So that's how close it was. It was anyone's, and unfortunately, Luca just kind of battled in that race and finished third. So, but these are provisional, so we will have a look. There might be some incidents that need to be looked at, and overall that's your standing. McFlurry 4th, Venture 26 5th. So well done to everybody. Thank you. That will be a wrap for tonight. Again, I want to say thank you to all the competitors. Thank you to everybody that's joined us on the stream. And thank you, like I say, thank you to all the competitors for 10 weeks of amazing racing. It's been an amazing season. There are some magnificent things to come. And when I say magnificent, we're talking some... making mistakes here. Sorry, apologies. So... there are some mega prizes, mega prizes that are going to be announced, that we will be up for grabs throughout the season. Season 1 information will be revealed soon, and then the prizes and how the rest of the season, how the rest of the year is going to be structured will be revealed quite soon. A lot of that is still in design, and a lot of people have been involved in that. So I want to say thank you to everybody that is involved with that. But there are some mega things coming. So thank you to everybody. Thank you for your time, and we'll catch you guys next time. See ya.